Good afternoon. Just cleaning my glasses ready. I'm going to need them. There we go. Got some people joining us. Welcome. Hi, Lisa. Let's get you all on. I had to tidy up a little bit, and I'm puppy sitting, which has been adorable. Oh, that's good. I might actually just flip that blind. That might give me a better light. That's good. Whew. Right. I've got all things lined up as best as I can, but we've got a fabulous demo. Lovely, that's coming through. Oh, I didn't set my phone on Do Not Disturb, but it's fine. I think we'll be all right. So, everything is now live on the website. We have got a considerable amount of stock in and waiting to go, and any orders that come through will be dispatched on Monday, first thing Monday morning, because that's when we were allowed to send them out. Now, obviously, because we're not on Create and Craft launching this, if for any reason we were to sell out during this, we will be able to add more stock in, but we're going to put a 7-day delay on it. But if it comes into us any earlier, obviously as soon as it comes into us, it will get dispatched out to you guys. I'm just going to say thank you. The orders are coming in really, really quickly. I'm getting worried. No, we have got a considerable amount of stock, and I'm really, really over the moon that you are loving the collection as much as I do. So, although it feels strange, obviously, I couldn't choose Have the Bundle. Sorry, all of the messages are coming down on the top of my phone as well. I've got everything lined up to show you. It does feel strange because obviously I'm not on Create and Craft, but it is what it is, and we need to just leave them to sort and get through what they're going through. So the show must go on. Let's get started. I have got all of my product. Now, what I will show you first, and I'll do it while you're facing me. This is my Nature's Dream 1 collection, and you know me and making storage. I made a storage folder for everything to go in. So naturally, when Nature's Dream 2 came to me, I made another one for Nature's Dream 2. So I always have 2 collections. I have one for demoing at home, and then I have one for in the shop for when we're doing workshops, so that my ladies can use. So my other collection in the folder will go to the shop, and then this one is for me when I'm demoing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the products from this folder today, because it's easy for me to flick through. I'll show you the boards, and then a few samples, and then we'll make a demo, and then we'll perhaps come back to some more samples. There's lots of things I want to show you, like the easiest way to stamp and die cut the Polaroid stamp and die, and little hints and tips that I want to share with you all. So I'm going to flip the camera, and I just want to say a massive thank you for you all joining me today. So let's flip that. Have I pressed it? No. There we go. Get you in a good position. Now that feels wonky again. Which one do I do? Okay. I'm plugged in just in case I lose too much charge. So it's pulling the phone over to the side a little bit. Okay, I think that's safe. So, first off, we have 2 3D embossing folders. Now these are 6 inches by 6 inches. A real nice depth to them, and brilliant for doing your techniques. inking in the folders. Look at that. This is your vintage stones. So you can use this on both sides. It looks just so nice on each side, but a great background. And then this one is your 3D botanicals. Again, you might notice this sort of detail from the first collection, and everything will work together so beautifully. And then there's the reverse of that, just by adding ink on there as well. So that is your 2 embossing folders. Now there's 17 items in the collection, which sounds a lot, but we have given a fabulous bundle deal of £99.99. And then all of the items are available separately as well. So then we've got 2 A6 stamp sets. We have got the Thistle and we have got the Botanicals. And they look like, when they're stamped out, there are your Botanicals. So you've got really nice grid detail and inky flicks there. And then just to give you an idea of how you can build them up as a background. And then this one, this is your Thistle. And on there you've also got a little bird, you've got a ladybird, little kind of ink splat and some dots as well. So that's those 2. And then we have got, so we've got 2 A7 stamp sets, and then what we call like a mini DL. So it's A7, but it's like a longer version of it. So first up, we've got Branches. And in that one, we've got these 2 stamps. And they layer up and build up like this at the bottom. Now, I've stamped this using the Studio Light water reactive ink pads. So that's those 2. Then we have got the Silhouette Thistle. That's a mouthful. Again, just a really nice one to build up a background or be your focal point. And then these 2 ones are brilliant for layers. I just love a nice little bit of griddage, and then here you can see how I've really extended it out and added. I don't very often put these stamps onto a stamp block because you can get really good effects just by keeping them on the acetate, if that makes sense. And then we've got this one, which is your ABC background. I love this. It's going to go with everything. So that's those ones. And then we're going into some dies. So this one here, this is your A6 card shape. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 dies in that set. And that's going to enable you to actually make card blanks. And also just use them as toppers. You've got mats and layers in the middle that you can build up or just use on their own. It's just a stunning, let me just flick that off the screen. There you go. I just love this. This is so delicate. It looks lovely if you die cut a couple of them and build the height up as well. Just a brilliant frame for lots of the elements in the collection. And then these 2 little sets here, these are A7 sets. Love this little one. It's a little corner and it cuts into the card. So you can build, you could join it and have like quite a nice big area and then place some elements over that, which would look fabulous. Then you've got this lovely floral element and the separate flower. And then you've got that beautiful thistle with the tag and nature blooms. So they are them die cut. And they are the other ones. So this little floral is from the centre there. Okay, and then moving on, this makes me happy. This is your Polaroid frame. So you're getting a stamp which comes in, it's got the hole in the middle, so you can quite easily stamp down, mask out and keep things flat if you want to. But also we've got the dies. So that comes in the form of an outside edge, and then this one too. Now, as always, I like to cut this into a piece of card, drop my stamp in the middle, and then cut this centerpiece out. But great for layering. You could be putting pictures in there, any of these floral elements, heat embossing on it, anything. I really love that. And then this is what I've done just to show you. You can cut the frame, or you could just cut the center out. The choice is yours. So that one is your Polaroid frame. And then we have got 2 stencils. We have got the Old Stone. These are DL in size. Just gorgeous. Whether you're going to ink through them, or maybe ink the stencil and print them down, or have your texture paste through them. Again, just a fantastic background to work along these kind of botanical floral elements. So that's that one. And then we have got the botanicals. So some of these, again, you'll recognise from the first collection, but then they work in brilliantly with the new elements as well. Loving the stencils because you can do so much. Now I have got a few boards of those to show you. So this is like, I've got the stencil inked through, and then the ink that was left, I've just spritzed it, and that's given me this gorgeous kind of wash background. So that's that one. And then we've got the Old Stone, and then blending through, and then you've got the printing element as well. And then these ones here, this is just me getting messy and having a little play and seeing, like making these, just get rid of that, and just playing really. So, oh, look at that. Doing the background and then layering it back over the top and putting the colour in, I think just looks stunning. In softer colours, that would completely change the look. I'm just going to say thank you so much for these orders. They are flying through, and I'm keep swiping them off my screen so I can see what I'm saying to you. This one, look, just adding a bit of the grid on there and a bit of that alphabet. Just, again, just really grungy, and I love it. So that's just a little bit of fun with the stencils. I'll move those ones over. I'm very proud of myself for staying as tidy as I have. Now this one, love this. This is your bag stencil. Now this comes in 3 parts. We've got the handle, we've got the little flap, and then we've got the body of the card. I've got a bit of ink on that, but it's fine. So all you do, draw around and use the grid lines to score through, and this is going to create half of the bag. You'd do this one twice. You'd need 1 flap and 1 handle. And then by just doing that, you're going to get this fabulous little gift bag. Now, if you put some Velcro hook and loop on here to attach this down, it becomes the most fabulous gift. I'm just going to bring a decorated one in. This one's just been stamped and inked with all of the elements. Then we've got some of those die-cut flowers. Here's the Velcro bit. That just keeps everything together, and then you can fill it with cards and envelopes. I sized it perfectly so that you could fit the A6 envelopes in, so that you could do them as gifts, whether it's a little birthday gift or a Christmas gift. The choice is yours. And then they just pop in there, tuck them to the back, and then this gusset goes back round. So that is that one. Now I believe, am I at the end of the line? That is all. Pop those back in there. And what you can see as I've gone through this folder, all of this is the paper pads. Paper pad, should I say. I've only got, there, some at the front as well. So we've got 2 pads. This one here is packed with die-cut elements, all on the botanical theme. You've got butterflies, you've got sentiments in there. There's so much. Look at all them butterflies. And this one has got stuff missing because it's the one that I've used to make my samples. Hydrangeas, loving those. Thistles and sea holly. Birds in there. Everything. So there's that one there. And then the 8x8 pad. I'll turn it to the side so it's easier to flick. So you're getting 3 sheets of each design. And then you see the pattern on here? That's the same design as the little corner die that we've got. You've got some of the grid stamps in here as well. Hydrangeas, there's your branches at the side. Look at that, I've got my thistle in there. You've got those lovely vintage stones. So a really beautiful colour palette to complement all of the items. So that is everything, all 17 items that I've showed you. And what I'm going to do is just pop that folder up to the top there, open him out so I can get to him. And then I'll just show you, in fact, I'm going to go straight into a demo. So this is the one that I'm going to demo first. And I'm using the thistle and the thistle dies. I've got the papers in here, and we've also got that card frame die as well. And if you notice the little sentiment here, wishing you a wonderful day, that is from my washi tape from the first collection. So if you manage to get that, or I think we've still got some left on the website as well. So that just works well. Other than that, there's lots of sentiments in the die cut pad as well. So let's have a look what we've got. My card blank is, it's just an A4 sheet of card that I have scored at 15 centimetres. I'm just going to take a pause and look back. Paul is watching from downstairs, and if there's any questions come through, and he will answer them for you. If I see them, obviously I will give you an answer. I'm just flicking through and nothing's coming through to my phone, but it did do that the other night. Right, so then I have got a couple, I've got a matte and layer, a black and some of the pattern papers. I'm just going to look at that. It looks like I've cut that down. So let's do that so that we're on the same wavelength. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And I'm going to cut this down to, it looks like I've cut it down to 20. So I'll guess and then I'll get it wrong. So I'll just make sure before I do it. Check once, cut twice. No, that's wrong, isn't it? Right, and there we go. That's perfect. That's my matte and layer. Yes, so I'm going to stick that on and then we'll get creative. Okay, so I'm using one of the little squeezy bottles that just came out with Studio Light. We do have these on the website as well. And it is Studio Light glue in there. And the pins are galvanised so they won't rust. Okay. So that is all ready. Right, let's have a look then. So this paper that I've chosen, it's got a little tiny bit of detail in there, lovely mottling, but it's going to set me a really nice background to start with. And I'm going to use my water reactive ink. This one, it's the blue from the... I can't remember what it's called now. I think it's just from the purple set, they call it. It's got pink, purple, and like a bluey tone. So I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to use some of the greens for the foliage as well. So first off, I need my thistle stamp. And I'm going to just pop that onto a block. And so this is the scallop from the card base die. It's the largest die on the set, and then what I've done is I've gone ahead and just cut a little black matte layer to go around it so it pops off my card. And then I also have cut, you've got the matte layer in the middle of the card. Let me just grab that so I can show you. So you've got two layers here. I've cut the back layer in black, and then the front layer I'm going to cut from this design once I've stamped it down. So I think actually I'm going to stamp it in my platform. I'll just bring this one in because it's the one that's on my table. Okay. And I'm going to position this to make sure that I'm happy. Perfect. Just want that. You see, in my brain, I'm making sure that my grid is straight because that's how my brain rolls. And then I can just peg that in place. And then we will ink this one up. And then we will stamp that down. I'm hoping you can all see okay. There we go. Look at, just got a little bit of ink left there to print. Look at that. The detail in there, I love this stamp. And I know that you all are too, because I notice it's just gone out of stock, but I think Paul's put more stock in. So, I'm sitting down now, so I might not see all of the comments, but I am going to lower this so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. Move that over to the side. So I'm going to take myself a water brush and some of the blue ink. I'm also going to grab some green and a bit of this one. And she'll go with that. So I'm just going to get some water on there. Just because. And I'm going to pick up and start adding in some colour. You don't have to be too careful. And do you know what the good thing? I can actually take my time a little bit. I'm not going right to the edges because I'm going to add some of the lighter one in as well. If I bring that down a little bit lower for you. There we go. Squeeze that out and we just pick up a little bit more of the lighter. And add that in now. And again, just massive, massive thank you to everybody for joining me. There we go. A little bit of the darker, just adding that in. It's one of those stamps, it doesn't need a lot of colouring, but I think it looks super effective when you've added that colour in. I do love a nice little bit of monochrome, so even if you want to leave it black and white, that would look fabulous. Just getting all of these little, my brain wants to call them tendrils. I don't know if that's right, but we'll go with that. There we go. Like so. And then we're going to get some nice deep of this lovely bluey tone. So you'll notice I'm just coming down the one side for the minute, and I'm going to do a couple of layers just to make sure I get a real nice build up. And then I'm going to leave a whitish bit just for a highlight. There we go. And the same on this one. And then you can just flick a few little bits out just to kind of give a little bit of blue halo around. And if you've bought, like maybe you've got some of the acrylic markers or things like that, you can build on top of this. Maybe you want to get the white to add in some highlights. So many options. Let's grab some of this. Just clean that down a little bit. And before I take that away, I'm just going to scoot that to the side. And I've gone ahead and die cut one of the thistles. And I've done it in the white and also black. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in and add in. Now you can paint this or just blend it with your blending sponges. I might add this layer of paint and then I might deepen it up with some blending as well. So I just roughly add in some green. Like so. And then I'm going to really get some neat ink and see if I can deepen up. Sometimes the water just dilutes it a little bit more than you want it to. There we go. So we've got the green on. And then we'll add some blue. Need to squirt some more water. So just add that in. And it doesn't matter if you have any little white bits left, it just adds to its... But if you really don't want any, just keep popping over and adding different layers so you kind of get a different... There we go. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to slide that out of the way and mop up my ink. There we go. And then I'm going to grab this. Just pop a little bit of glue on some of the areas and I'm going to offset a little bit of the black so I can see it when I add it down. There we go. Now what I'm intending to do is try and come on and do a few lives over the next 2 days. Obviously because you would have seen me for 4 hours with this collection normally. So I've got a whole pile of demos that I want to share with you. Let's pop that out of the way. I'm just making some room because I need to do a little die cut now. The machine is quite close to me, but I'm very aware that I've got wires and all sorts. Right, so let's get this on. Lay it down. Just get that tiny little bit of black showing so that that kind of pops from my project. There we go. That's going to work perfectly. Right, so if I go to that card base die, I'm just going to bring you up a little bit. These little bits that are in the middle, there's 2 sizes. Now I've already got the black one cut. So this smaller one, what I want to do is position this okay, I'm just going to do it there because I want to do it slightly to the side. I'm going to position that, and when I'm happy with where it is, I'm going to stick it in place. But it would be too organised to have any low-tack tape. Come on, Hazel, where is it? Ah, found some. So I'm just going to stick that in place. Get myself a nice straight line. I tried to pick my plates up off the side and I can't grip them. I'm going to pop that on my plate and just pop that through my die cutting machine. So So now I'm just going to drop that back in there because realistically I should have done another step, but there's no problem. I can still fit it in. I'll put my dies back on. I'm going to flip through and get that fabulous old stone stencil. And I'm just going to lay it down on there like so. And I'm going to grab a brush and some of my black ink. Now, that's not black hazel, that's green. I don't want this to be dark, so I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on and then kind of rub it away. And then place my stencil in. I can see where my flowers are, so I'm just going to kind of avoid that area, and I'm going to lift this back so that I can see how dark I'm going. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of that stone in the background, and each time I'm just going to lift that back to make sure I've got enough of an impact there. There we go. So I've got that effect there. And then we're going to go on to those, the background stamps. We've got the alphabet. So I'll peel that off. Just going to see which way up it is. There we go. And this time I'm going to use the blue. I'm going to pop just a little bit of randomness over there. And then what I like to do, I've just got to make sure it's the right way up. Yeah. I like to lay it down and just gently rub, and it gives me a very sporadic print, which it just looks like it's meant to be. There we go. If I was on a block, I don't think I'd be able to get that print like that as much as I have. So then I'm just going to pop a little bit more there. There we go. So now I've created this lovely little background, and I've got all of these nice flicks around there. Now, on one of the stamp sets, it is the thistle. There is also a separate one. So you could add more in. Maybe you wanted to add a little bit of green flicks in and around, just to kind of build your image. Let's get that right. And it's the kind of stamp that you can stamp like that, sort of like, just so that it builds. Now, I'm going to bring that a bit higher so you can see the detail. Okay, so that's all come together now. And then we're going to start and have a little look at this background before we layer it together. So I am going to take this thistle stamp off the platform, and I'm going to pop it onto my block. I'm just going to ink it up with the black VersaFine. So what I'm looking to do with this is just build a bit of a background on top of the paper, and that's why we made sure there was some plainer ones as well, because they're matte, you can ink on top of them and you can add so much to them. So I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to go in, because you're not going to see much of that. In fact, I'm going to go lower, like so, and then I perhaps should have done this flat on my desk because I've got a thing missing, and it's going to make it harder for me to get a good print, but we'll go with the flow. Now, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and add a bit of colour in here if you wanted, but I am going to keep it in the black. And I'm going to clean that up. Like so. Okay. We'll go for some of the blue now, and I'm just going to ink a little bit around the outside just to kind of pull this colour in. Now, because I've only just stamped the bottom, I need to be careful when I go around there because I don't want that ink to smudge. So I'll be super quick and kind of just go in between the areas. There we go. So now, here's our card. This is the exact demo that I was going to do at 4 p.m. anyway, and I've got another one to the side of me as well. So let's layer that one on. Get that equal border around. There we go. And then we've got these elements here. So first of all, I'm going to pop that one onto there. I mean, you could even just use these middle bits just to cut apertures into any of your regular card sizes. They don't have to be used in conjunction with the outside edge. I mean, we could still put that beautiful detail around there. There's room for it to go. Okay, so that's in place. Did I bring any foam pads? No, that's not what I want. I'll layer this on and then I'm going to have to just quickly get some foam. Right, what depth am I having? I think I'm going to have some 3 mil. I'm just going to pop this one on here. Now, when I line this up, I'll be able to, I'm just hovering over the top now so I can get it lined up. The end of that petal is just there. So that's the bit that I'm going for. There we go. And that just gives that nice bit of dimension. Now, one thing I have done is I've forgotten to do this, but I can still do it. I'm going to have Wishing You A. Wishing You A. I'm going to chop that. Wishing You A. Like so. Oh, I haven't shook. We'll just have Wishing You. I'm trying to cut it straight. And I'm going to have that to that side. If I can put that on straight, that'll do. And then we're going to have, I'm going to have to go into another one because you watch me not fit a wonderful, oh, I can. We'll go to there. And then I will cut that there. Beautiful. I can tuck that under with my nail. Tuck that under there with my nail. So we've got a nice little sentiment on there now. And then I need to position this onto the card. I'm going to go flat, not on pads. And get that in position. And then we've got our lovely little thistle that we painted up that can come down onto here. So I'll just add to go over a little bit just so I don't cover up all my words. put my lid on. Okay, so that is our first card. Now, what I'm going to do, how are we doing? Oh, this, yeah, lovely. I'm going to grab a few samples now and bring in and show you a few different bits. This is where I'll get in a total mess. Right, so I'm going to move that to the side because we've done that one. Let's have a look at some that use the paper elements. So we've got this beautiful one here. This is like your pattern papers. We've got some twine. All of these elements are from the die cut pad. And then you've got that lovely corner there from the little A7 die cut set. Now, they'll all work with the flip flap cards that we had on the first Nature's Dream release. That's that one. And these are some beautiful samples as well from Tracy Rogers. So thank you. Gorgeous little frame. We've got Let's Celebrate Today. And then just some snippets of some of the papers down there. Really effective. And then this one. Again, I do love those corners. We've got that lovely stone in the background. And all of these die cut elements just work so well together. Let's have a little look. Oh, here's the other one, the trio one. That works well together. It just so happens that all the paper ones are at the top. It's the way that I packed them in the box. Again, we've got those beautiful butterflies on there. That lovely background. Oh, here we go. Here's the card base one as a card base. We've got that lovely detail. Look at the gorgeous Sissel in there. She's got some of the old stone background. Beautiful. And then something completely different. This is Vintage Stones stencil from the first release. There's that gorgeous frame again. Let's have a look at this one. So we've just looked at the thistle. How gorgeous does it look with the Polaroid? And then, can you see down the side here? These are the ones from the original launch. If you didn't get them, I know that there's no more. They have finished. But if you got the first collection and you've got that, they're going to work perfectly together. So that's another nice one. And then this one, that just shows you the lovely branches in the background. You've got the die cut elements as well. And those gorgeous pattern papers. Brilliant for making little shaker frames as well. If you are on the website and you're trying to order something that comes up out of stock, please don't worry. Paul is on it, and as that happens, he's adding more stock in, but it will have a 7-day extended delivery because we've just got to get it in. It's all in order, and yeah, I think the bundles are okay. It's some of the separate items. But look at that folder. I've got to say, that is just so beautiful. And that is white. That's ink in the inside of the folder with a selection of die cuts. Bit of vellum. Beautiful. And the same with this one. I've got to say, look at that. I do love that. You've got the new thistle. You've got the new element down the side here as well. This is, I said it, well, I did say it on my page. This is one of my favourites. This is heat embossed onto the whole folder after I'd hand painted all of the elements. So I just embossed it and we've done some inking, and we'll cover that in a demo. What else have we got? Here's a different version of what we've just done. So this one, it's using the same colours, but look, adding the die cut flowers on there. We've got the die cut elements here. This phone is going crazy. But then look, I did add that frame back around, and I just think it gives such a beautiful background. And then you've got the branch elements in there. You've got the griddage. You've got the cobble, the old stones in the background as well. So 2 cards that are kind of the same, but different. Love them. And then there's a little spotlight one by Tracy. So keeping it black and white, but just colouring that lovely circle there. So now what I want to do, I'm going to put them back in the box, and then I'm going to go a little bit I really want to show you. Oh, no, I'm going to keep myself in order. I was going to change up and do the embossing folders, but I feel like I should stick with... Have we got any journalers out there? Who likes making journals? Because I did do a little journal page, but then I thought, do you know what? When I demo that, I'm going to make it into, look, I'm going to make it into a card. Okay, so I'm going to work from this type of design, and it's pulling in some of the elements from the first collection as well, for those of you that have got all of it. But if you haven't got all of it, don't worry, you can still make the card, but just doing different, adding different elements in. So I've gone ahead and die cut. We've got Bumblebee. We have got, this one's from the first collection. This one's from the new one. And what I've done is, I'm going to offset these with a little bit of white showing so that they stand off the background a little better. So we'll come to them flowers in a minute, and we'll start and we'll build ourselves a lovely background on here. So just with a little bit of ink. So I'm going to use the water reactive because that's how I roll. And I'm just going to pull in a couple of extra stencils, but in fact I'm going to use the 2 new ones as well. Let me get those ready. In fact, come on, where are you? We've got this, we've got this. I'm looking for vintage stones. Why can't I find it? There it is. Okay, so for this I'm going to use some brushes, and I'm going to go in for, we'll go in with a little bit of yellow. We're going to use this stencil. I want to use this circle as a kind of focal point. This is the vintage stones, but in the stencil version. And then we'll go in with some orange. And some red. I've just contaminated my brush, don't tell anyone. I'm just going for it. Just getting a layer down so that we can start and build on this. Now I do want some, also a little bit of griddage, because it'd be rude not to. So not being too particular, just adding a little bit here and there. Okay, so that's that one. Although I'm going to keep that out because I am going to use these rings as well. Let's have a little bit of cobble. A bit of brickwork. Now I'm going to come down the side of here, and I am going to be quite vibrant with it. More vibrant than I was last time. I think you can get a lot of different looks from this collection, whatever you're into, if that makes sense. So I have a little bit of cobbling coming down there. maybe a little bit up there as well. And then I am going to blend around the outside too. Okay. And I'm going to have a little bit of a spritz by my water. And some kitchen towel. So that's given us this lovely kind of spotting effect around the outside. Now, let's have a little look at the botanical type stamps. We'll go with the thistle one first. This one is just called Silhouette, this one, and it's an A7. Doesn't fit on that one. I can't see the block. Where have you put the block? There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on there. And I'm going to start off by inking this up in red. Because I just want to build a little bit of depth into this. So I'm going to go across and I'm going to have one. And I'm going to drop it slightly. Now, me being me, and this is just me, I like my grid straight, so I will keep it quite uniform. But of course, you can do them at different angles. There isn't any rules. It's all fun. So I'll always do the higher one first and then drop for the lower. I'm going to pop that one there. And then I'm going to come up here. Now, because I've gone off the edge, I'm going to re-ink up. Stamp one off and then come in for my second generation. So I've got a little bit of something going there. Pop that one back. We're going to go onto the branches set, and we've got this lovely little one here, and we're going to do that one in black. Now I'm going to start off with a little, shall I? Okay, we'll do solid. Okay, so put a few of these down. So just getting different heights and building that across. There we go. And then cleaning. I'm being good. You can tell everything's new, can't you? Right then, what else have we got? We want a nice bit of our alphabet. And for this, I'm going to go in with the black, but I'm going to do the same way as what I did on the earlier card. So I'm going to try and stay away from the outside edges and just gently tap up the middle randomly. And then I'm going to lay down. Well, no, not physically me. I'm not laying down. And I'm just getting that lovely kind of, I'm going to say sporadic because I really like that word. It makes me happy. Sporadic print across. So we're just building up layer upon layer. So we've got some of that one on. And then we'll go to the other A6 sets. We've got that lovely little ink splat. We'll pop that one on. Again, that can go on in black. Just extending a bit of detail there. Now I'm going to have to my stencil, I've got these lovely coffee rings on here. So I'm just going to use a few of those. Where's that black gone? If you could see me now, I'm standing up, hovering, hovering over my desk. Get a bit of detail in there, like so. And then and perhaps see if I can get a little something. You won't see much of it, but it just adds a little bit more. There we go. Just a bit of balance. Okay, now we've got this stencil as well. Could I add something, maybe a butterfly in there? What colour have I got out? Don't really want it black. And I think let's do it with this little. I don't normally use a foam, but this is just what's to hand. I would normally use a brush on this, but we can have a few little, we'll have one going off the page as well. There we go. So that's that one. Haven't used that one. That can go back. I am surprised at how tidy I'm being. Okay, and then to build on top of here, there's also a little ink splat there. We can do some of those. Pop in different angles. And let's start and have a look at our, we've got a little bumblebee. He's cute. He's going to go in here. And then let's see what stands off the best. Do I want the black on the white? You see, now I quite like that. Yeah, going with my gut. I'm going to sit down. I'll be back hurting. And I'm going to lower you down so you can see a little bit more. Thank you so much for staying with me, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the demos. Okay. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on here. And then offset. I want enough of an offset that it does pop. So just give yourself a little time to wiggle this into position. That's it. And then that, I like that. With that bit of white, that works so well. So I'm going to add that one down. Again, just a few little dobs here and there. I do like a little bit of movement. And then we'll go there. And then, now, you watch me not be able to reach these. I'm just going to grab some of my acrylic markers. I'm going to get the yellow, I'm going to get the green, I'm going to get the red. That should do us for now. And I'm going to paint in. And I know it's weird that I've got black card and then I've put this acrylic on, but I just really liked the way it looked. So I'm going with the flow, and I'm just going to add a little bit of orange on there, and then back into just smudge that up. Perfect. And then of course I could have done it on the white, but I want the white to offset it on. So I'm leaving a little bit of space so I can go over with the lighter green here and there. Okay. And I feel like I need to brighten that up, down that side. Okay, let's add that one. There's still, honestly, there are still no comments coming through to my phone at all. I'm hoping that you're enjoying this. I should bring my iPad up. I should be able to see them on that, shouldn't I? Okay. Again, just giving that little white border so that when I lay it on, it's helping it just to bounce off of that page a little bit more. So I'm happy with that one. I'm going to just lay that there for the minute. I've got one of these ones now. I think what I'll do first is off-layer it first. Off-layer it? Offset it. And then decide if I'm going to add any acrylic markers to it. Maybe. Go on then. We'll have a circle in the middle of each. And this time, I'm just going to do a few little flashes. Like so. And then we've got that one layering on as well. For my bee, let's stick him down. I'm going to position him just there. And then now the bee is from the first collection. Just give some yellow in there. Right, let's get these bits on. Move that over. It just shows how the stamping, the stencils, the die cuts, it all comes together. And whether it's a card or a journal page, there's a lot of fun to be had. I'm gonna poke that one under slightly. Oh, there we go. That's looking nice. I think that's come together quite lovely. Right, let's have a little look. I've got a piece of black to layer that onto, and again, that is just so that it bounces. When I have finished the live, I will take the time to go through and have a look at all of your comments and answer any questions that haven't been answered. But yeah, it sounds to me Paul is very busy downstairs printing orders and getting everything organised and keeping on top of the stock levels. But please rest assured, it's all in-house and it will be shipped on Monday. Unless it's an item that's just gone out of stock whilst we've been live. And then we will be getting more stock in. And we've put 7 days just to give us enough time to get it in and ship it out to you. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit of this old stone, just faintly in the background, on opposite corners, don't matter which. And it's just with the ink that was left on there, so that when I pop that on there, it just puts a little bit of something in the background too. So we will stick that one on there. Now, here's a question for you. Do you want... Oh, I'm not going to see the answers though, am I? I absolutely am going to come back on and do another live. But I will write a post in the group as to when it will be. Now, I'll also be doing lives on my Dragons Papercraft page, but I'll always let you know in the post which page I'm going to do it on so that there's no confusion. I'm going to lift that up and pop that one there. And I'm going to pop that one there. So they are the two that we've covered in this first, I'm going to say hour. I haven't even got a clue what time it is. But I will come back again live, whether it's tonight or whether it's tomorrow, and I will make another couple of cards because I want to look at the embossing folders, I want to look at the Polaroid frame, I want to look at the bag stencil. So I've got all of the demos prepped, lined up, ready to share with you. I am going to flip this so that you can see me. There we go. I still got no comments through. But one thing I can see is the amount of orders coming through. So I have to say a massive thank you from my heart. It means the world. So that is Nature's Dream 2. I hope you've had a lovely time. I've really enjoyed myself. And rest assured, everything will be on its way to you if you've ordered. It's not a brilliant time for everybody out there, I know. We've just got to leave it all to get sorted, and just fingers crossed everything does get sorted and everybody is okay. So thanks for your support, and I will post about the next live very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.